learning more about Civility First with us. My name is Melissa Meehan, a commissioner with the Community Relations Commission for the City of Farmington. Each month in 2017, we're taking time to learn a little bit about Civility First. This month, our trait is consideration, which leads to why I have these two gentlemen here with me today. With me today are Chris Schroeder from Quality Appliance and Clint Freeman from Sunglass. And both of their companies served as hallmark companies for the Civility First program. And what that means is that we went to them because we heard of the outstanding customer service that they provide and asked them to teach us more about what they do and how they do it. Today's program is going to be focused on our corporate program and how consideration plays into good business. And so it was only natural to come back to the two of you and learn a little bit about consideration and customer service from you two. So our first question is going to be, since consideration is our topic today, and consideration is defined as thoughtful regard for others, how does that play into good customer service or good business transactions?
Okay. Well, when I think you consider somebody and their thoughts and their feelings and just their state of mind, you're giving them value. When you give the customer that feeling of value, they tend to be a little more open. They tend to know that your heart is in the right place and that you are there trying to make the best of a bad situation in most cases. Yeah. So when you consider somebody's thoughts and their feelings, you make them feel more valued. They end up coming back as a customer, and really it's a win-win. Consideration shouldn't just be something that we try to do. It should be something that is, instilled within us that we should just do without thinking. Almost like the golden rule: treat everybody as if you were them and how you wanted to be treated.
Okay, great. Yeah. So you answered kind of what it looks like. So why don't you tell us how you apply it at Sunglass and how that ties into the customer service that you offer?
Yeah, I think Chris hit it on the head. A lot of it has to do with, partly considering people's motives. And sometimes when we interact, we think their motives are one thing. But if we consider maybe what they're going through and what all is going on in their life, and just give consideration that maybe what you see on the surface is not really what's going on, and give them the benefit of the doubt, if you will, I think, man, that goes a long ways. One of our tags you see on a lot of our logos and stuff is "We do it right." And the reality is we don't do it right every time. Is that in the construction world, things go wrong, things happen. We do a lot of remodeling and the project just doesn't go right.
The glass gets broke.
The glass gets broke,
right.
Or the glass gets scratched. And the reality is that, do we stick around and are we willing to work through it together? Because our goal too is to build enduring relationships. And I think that's the beauty of living in a small town. Is we live in a small town, and the only thing as a business we have is our reputation. And so the goal is to build enduring relationships, awesome. Which is different than building just relationships.
Right.
Because if I'm just going to build a relationship and then whenever things go wrong, well, I just end the relationship. But if the goal is to build enduring relationships, and we do this through consideration, is that we're willing to talk through it and be honest with one another, and we work through it together, then these relationships endure, and that's how you get businesses that are able to last 50 years, to last 60 years, to really go the distance together as a community. Awesome. And so I think it's learning to just engage with one another in a way that we give the benefit of the doubt, and we give consideration to the situation that's going on, maybe that the customer's dealing with.
That's awesome. And really both of you have had companies or with companies that have been here a long time, so maybe we're finding a tie here, that enduring relationships is why you're still around. And
absolutely.
And I think it's very interesting you point out, and in both, ironically, you're kind of both in a similar industry. People come to you when stuff's broken in their home, or they come to you for a new happy moment. In my case, just recently, a washer and dryer from Quality here. But sometimes things don't always go right. And we talked about, or maybe on the customer's part, things don't always go right. And so we talked about an example a little bit ago where somebody had a bounce check, but they realized right away that check wasn't going to clear. And they called you up and said, hey, we have a problem. I want to come down and make it right. And they fixed it right then. So what role does the customer have in good customer service, and how can that lead to better transactions?
Well, just like what you mentioned, the customer considered the hassle that we were going to have to go through with having a bounce check. She picked up the phone and called us right away and wanted to put it on her credit card. And that little bit right there went a long way with me personally. Yeah. She knew she made a mistake. Wasn't necessarily on her, wasn't necessarily her fault, but a mistake was made, and she wanted to make it right. that makes me want to go the extra mile for people. That makes me want to, just swing by and make sure that their appliances are looking good in our house, or just something simple like that. It's sometimes it's the little things that have the biggest impact.
Oh, that's great. And I think that applies on both sides too. I think sometimes as customers, when we walk in the door, we need to be prepared that the other person's also got stuff going on in their lives. And we talked about another example, the glass being broke or the glass being scratched. And it's one thing as a customer to walk in the door and say, I think we have a little bit of a problem, something broke or something scratched, or to come in the door and say, your people broke this and you need to fix it. And you're talking about that little bit of give, that if I come in respectfully, I'm going to hopefully get that in return, and maybe you're going to go that extra mile and take care of what I need.
Yeah, I think the reality is that business owners, especially in a small community, really want the best for their customer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they really want to serve their customer well. They want to take good care of their customer, and knowing that that's the heart of most businesses, that there's a willingness just to consider one another and work through that. And so the customer doesn't necessarily need to come in an angry manner, but maybe consider that the business owner wants the same thing and has just a heart and a willingness to work together to figure out what is the best solution for both parties.
That's great. And so let's take that a step farther then. So we talked about kind of the business relationship, but consideration, of course, we're talking about customer service, but it applies in the everyday world too.
Certainly.
So what do you think that looks like, or what can our viewers out there do to demonstrate courtesy, consideration, all these things to the community? And
we have opportunities, don't we, every day. Is that I think it's so many times that we engage with people, and maybe it's at the store and somebody maybe cuts in front of you, and it's like how dare they?
Right.
But sometimes we just don't consider maybe they really just need that spot in line more than I do, and are we willing just to take a deep breath and realize it's not the end of the world? That we were just joking. We live in a small town. It doesn't take that long to get from one end of town to the other.
Right.
Maybe for me, just taking that foot off the pedal a little bit, and just being okay to slow the pace down and take that time. Maybe it's the simple as holding the door open for somebody and just giving that consideration that could make a big impact right here in San Juan County, right here in community. That if we could learn to just love and care for one another first and foremost, what a difference San Juan County, maybe we could be a different community for the state of New Mexico.
And that's my hope, and that's why Civility First was created. I figure if we can get everybody to make one more nice decision even a week, with 100,000 something people here, think of the difference the world would have. And so we did come here to talk about our corporate program though today. So now I want to tell you a little bit about how you can participate and be involved in that. So our corporate program is intended to allow businesses like these folks tell the community that they want their business and that they're committed to putting civility first. The easiest way that businesses can do that is by putting up one of our decals. The decals go right in your front window, your storefront, your door, whatever you got, and say putting civility first. These two businesses both proudly display theirs. Another option is actually part of that customer service promotion piece, and you can go out and nominate someone who has treated you right and done you well in customer service. It's really neat because we get a lot of unusual nominations, not just your typical maybe waitress and waiter, although we get those too. You can go online to the City of Farmington's page, www.fmtn.org, and look under Community and the Civility First page, and you can fill out a form right there online. You'll need their name, where they work, the date of service, and then I want you to tell me a little bit about why they're a customer service star. You put that out there every month. We're going to draw a name. Whoever's name gets drawn wins a $50 gift card from Olive Garden, and you're going to win a $25 gift card from Olive Garden for nominating them. So it's really a win-win situation to take that time. Again, that's www.fmtn.org. It's the City of Farmington's website. And then we also have these fun little cards that you can take and you can have, or you can put in your place of business to let folks know about that program and to go out and nominate their star. And it has the address right here on the back. It has a QR code, which makes it super easy. Another cool thing we have are these posters that Quality Appliance actually shows that promote the different traits of civility. So if you want any of those items, the stickers, the posters, one of these cool cards, or a handful of them, reach out to me on Facebook, use a message, just send me a message and I'll get back to you and we'll bring those out to you wherever you're at. So with that, I'm going to thank you both for being here with me today. Again, we have Chris Schroeder with Quality Appliance, Clint Freeman with Sunglass, both outstanding companies that have been in Farmington a long time. Thank you for being here. And I want to remind you to be considerate and think of others. And thank you for learning more about Civility First. So be considerate
and put civility first.